Hey, Aces here, and what you can probably see behind me, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to teach you how to create your own affiliate marketing funnel that will allow you to go ahead and win affiliate contests and rank on the leaderboards with any product that you want to promote. What I'm about to show you has literally made me tens of thousands of dollars in not only affiliate marketing, but selling and marketing my own products and services, and has helped my clients actually to make money in a variety of different niches, everywhere from restaurants to real estate brokerages. Now, I know a lot of people talk a big game, but what I want to do is I want to share with you some screenshots just to show you some of the results and what's possible when it comes to working online. And what gets me more excited is when others take what I'm about to teach you and implement it into their own business and get some great results for themselves and for their clients. Alright guys, so I'm going to take you step by step and share with you exactly how you can set up your own affiliate marketing funnel so that you can start dominating the leaderboards in whatever product or service you actually want to promote. I'm actually going to take you through the whole process, and I'm even going to take you behind the scenes so you can actually see some of my funnels and how it is that you can actually implement this all in your own business. Now guys, I got nothing to sell you here in this video. I'm literally just going to take you through the whole process, lay it all out for you, and if you go ahead and you actually implement what I teach you here in this video and you start getting some results, all I ask is you remember where you actually learned it from. Alright guys, so I want to make sure that I throw a little bit of a disclaimer out here for you guys before we even get started, because what I'm about to teach you guys is not for lazy people. Alright, this is not for the get-rich-quick crowd. This is not for people who want to do just a little bit of work and get a lot of results. Alright guys, because as we kind of walk through this whole process, guys, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, because you're probably going to see that it's going to take a little bit of work for you up front, right? But once you have a system like I'm about to teach you, set up and ready for your business, what's going to happen is it will allow you to grow your business really quickly. It will allow you to scale your business up really quickly, and it really is the difference between you making a little bit of money or no money at all in affiliate marketing and honestly dominating the leaderboards. Okay guys, so what I'm about to teach you guys is kind of the mountaintop view, and it's something that you really need to be able to understand if you want to make some real money with affiliate marketing. And so I'm actually going to take you behind the scenes. I'm going to share with you guys examples and show you exactly how you can implement this inside of your business, so that way when you're done with this video, you'll be able to go ahead and get it out there and start getting some results. All right, so hopefully you guys will find value in this, and let's get started. Alright guys, so kind of laid out for you right now is the entire affiliate marketing funnel. And I know this could probably seem really confusing, especially if you're just getting started, if you're new to the whole process, but I promise I'm going to walk you through each one of these steps. We're going to go through each one of these steps individually so that you fully understand exactly what we're talking about, what it kind of looks like, and what everything, basically what the point of everything here is. And if if you've done anything or purchased any sort of products online, you've probably gone through a process like this and you're probably not even aware of it. Or if you've been doing this for a little while, then you've probably seen this a few times. But I guarantee you though that the way that I'm going to show it to you guys here is not the way you might be used to actually seeing it. And so this is what makes this whole process that I'm about to share with you so powerful. So let's start at point number one. So just to start, guys, we're going to talk about traffic. Okay, so traffic is obviously going to be step number one for any sort of marketing funnel or any sort of marketing plan to begin with, right? Because you need an audience, right? So your traffic is going to be your audience, the people that you hopefully will get to buy your product, or at least the people that you want to show your product or service to that will hopefully be interested in buying it, right? So this marketing funnel and the way that I've laid things out, guys, it doesn't matter whether you're doing paid ads, whether you're doing free organic traffic, right? This will work for either type of audience. Now, my suggestion would be if you're just getting started and you don't have a big budget to start, investing into paid traffic, definitely start with organic free traffic, guys, and then once you find what works and you've worked through the kinks, then you can go ahead and scale things up with paid traffic, and you'll be just making a lot more money that way. So when it comes to traffic, you could do things like blogging, which is obviously more like SEO, and using Google obviously for to your advantage. You can start up your own YouTube channel if you're if you like doing video. Video is obviously my preferred way of being able to go ahead and teach and build my business, which is why you're probably watching this video yourself, right? Another option obviously would be things like Facebook, so using things like Facebook groups, Facebook posting, building up your audience, whatever you want, kind of through that. And as well as you have things like Instagram, and there's so many other ways that you can do things, right? You can do Pinterest, you can do whatever you want. But the point is though, you need to find one source of traffic that's going to work for you and that resonates with you and that you like building, and then kind of go from there. Okay, that's going to be your main source of traffic, especially as you just get started, and then you're going to move from there. Now guys, the next step right after we've done that, guys, now is going to be all about content. Now this is this thing that I believe a lot of people don't talk about, right? When I see marketers talking about building any sort of funnel, doesn't matter whether it's affiliate marketing, whether it's for a product launch, it doesn't matter. The main thing that I see that a lot of people don't talk about is this, which is content. Okay, now the reason why I want to talk to you guys about content right now is because Content is really how people are introduced to you. It's how people begin to get to know you. It's how people will decide whether they trust you and whether they like you, right? Because more than ever, right, people don't want to just buy a product off some sleazy salesperson, right? And this is why what a lot of people will do when it comes to this is that they usually try to skip this step. They try to go from the traffic and send people to the next step, which we'll talk about in just a second. But what's super important, guys, is that you don't skip this process here, which is creating content, right? Because this is how people are really going to get to know you, know your personality, and think and consider whether they want to do business with you. All right, guys, because if you do not create content, if you're not a person who's creating content, whether it's, like I said, whether it's, you know, creating blogs, whether it's creating videos on YouTube, whether it's creating videos on Facebook, or maybe creating some really informative Facebook posts, whether it's sharing content and pictures or videos and stuff like that on Instagram, right? If you're not creating that content on those platforms, then what's going to happen is that you're going to end up with what ends up happening to a lot of people, and I'm guilty of this because this happened to me, because before I really understood this concept, what I would do is I would skip this step here, right? I would skip the content step and I would just jump from getting traffic straight into trying to get people to opt in. So this is an opt-in, okay, guys? And what happened is that if you try to sell somebody something right away, guys, this process just doesn't work anymore. Okay, trying to sell people things right away just doesn't work anymore because people are super skeptical. People's you know, their guard is super high when it comes to you know, their bullshit meter, I should say, is kind of like super high, and so they don't really trust or want to trust anybody. And unless you really take the time to create some goodwill, to create some value by going ahead and actually teaching people something or sharing something that they don't know about and doing that kind of stuff where you're building that goodwill, right? And the way to do that is through content, right? Then what's going to happen is you're going to get very little to no results when it comes to your affiliate marketing. Okay, guys, so that's why content, I think, is super important for you to focus on. So you got to find a medium that you want to use, whether it's, again, blogging, whether it's YouTube videos, Facebook videos, Instagram posting, whatever you want, but you want to create that content, and then that's what's going to bring people and get people to build trust with you before they even get to the next step. So now let's talk about step number 3. So step number 3 is all about the opt-in. Okay, guys, so the opt-in is really straightforward. The opt-in is basically, I'm sure you've seen this before, right? Which is where people kind of go into a you know, a one-page opt-in form, right, or a sales form or whatever it is, and basically submit their email for something, right? This could be for a training, right? Maybe you're offering them a free training. It could be for maybe a specific video that you want to show them. It could be for you're giving them a freebie. It could be like a PDF file. It could be whatever you want, right? The point is that you're giving them something, right? And in return, they're basically giving you their email essentially, right? So that basically what's going to happen is once they give you that email, they'll be taken over here, right, and be sent over to your email database. Okay, and this is what's super important. So before I continue, what I want to do, guys, is I want to share with you an example of how this actually looks, and then we can kind of go from there. All right, guys, so now I want to take a quick look at what the content strategy to opt-in would kind of look like, right? So here, guys, I'm showing you guys here on YouTube because YouTube is my preferred way to go ahead and actually generate organic traffic. But if you guys want to, you can do this again for blogging, whether it's coming off of Facebook or Instagram, whatever. The process would basically look very similar. So for me, right, I have videos here that I've created around ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is a program, guys, if you're not familiar with it, that I use to actually go ahead and create sales pages and opt-in pages and all that stuff. I've actually used ClickFunnels to pretty much build everything that I'm actually going to show you kind of here in some of the examples, right? But basically what happens is I've created some content videos where I teach people about how to either use ClickFunnels or how the affiliate program works for them or whatever. And so if they go ahead and click on one of my videos, right, they'll like this one, right, there'll be a link right here in the description that people can click on, and that'll send them basically over to my opt-in page, right? This is why having really great content is really important, because people, they'll watch this video, and if it helped them, if they found value in it, and they want to find out more or get more of my free training, they can go ahead and just go to that link there, and they'll be sent over to it, right? So they'll be sent over to an opt-in page, kind of like this one, right, where it'll say basically, how would you like to create a passive income business, and I do 90% of the work for you, right? Sounds too good to be true? Enter your email below, and I'll prove it to you, right? So basically, this is just for training. a training series, that was put together by one of my mentors, Zach Crawford, and so we've actually worked on some of the content that we've actually put together here on Together, which is really, really cool. And so this is what the Optin page would look like. So if somebody wants this training, they would just fill in their email, and then boom, they'd go ahead and click on there, and that's all that would happen. All right, guys, so now you kind of see the process of how you would go from content to creating that opt-in and getting the lead. Now let's talk a little bit about why having an email database is so important. Nowadays, having an email list is still super, super, super beneficial because it allows you to do so many things, including building up obviously potential buyers for your affiliate product, but it also allows you a way to be able to communicate with your audience, time and time again. Like, obviously, I'm sure you're probably part of some sort of email list where you get regular emails, whether it's even something as simple as subscribing to a local restaurant. Maybe they send you coupons every single week, right? But without your email, that restaurant could not send you those coupons, right? And if you're anything like me, I know I'm guilty of getting weekly emails from my local pizza place, right? And I've taken them up on more than one offer just because I was in the mood for pizza. They sent me that email, they gave me a good deal, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go get some pizza today. And so same sort of idea, guys. You can go ahead and continuously be adding value to people, sharing more content with them. You can be giving them value and building up that trust factor, which I talked about early on in this video. And once we've actually done that, then they're going to be more likely to want to buy something from you, whether it's at the end of this sequence, which we're going to continue to go through here, or whether it's 6 months from now when they get an email from you when you're just following up with them, right? Whatever the point is, though, is that you want to have that email database because it will allow you so much power and leverage to be able to follow up with your with your audience. So now let's talk about what happens after somebody submits their lead. So when somebody actually submits their email, guys, and they go through here, what we're going to do is you're going to take them to what we call the bridge page, okay? So the bridge page, guys, is super, super important, okay? So I'm going to draw a little bridge here for you too, okay? So that's my little attempt at a bridge, okay? So why is a bridge page so important? Now, this is something that I think a lot of people are missing in their in their funnel, and it's a huge reason why their conversions can be so low. So especially if you guys aren't taking the time to do something here, like when you're creating content and you're just sending people from some sort of a traffic source straight to a sales page, people have no idea who you are, right? People have no idea, why they should buy from you, right? They have no idea what they're getting themselves into, right? All they're opting into is whatever you're giving them away for free here in this sort of section. And so if you're the freebie you're giving, whether it's like a training series, whether it's a PDF download of some sort, right? That's all they really want at that particular moment. And without this bridge page, people don't know who you are. So the whole purpose of this bridge page, guys, you see this little guy here, right, with a little video. So this would be like a video of yourself, hopefully, right? Or at least, at the very least, a picture of you, right? And when you're kind of introducing yourself, right? So something really simple, something just saying like, hey, this is Aces, thanks for opting into my email list. Your free PDF is on its way to your inbox right now. I just wanted to take a quick second just to say hello and what you can kind of expect from this PDF. Okay, so it's kind of introducing yourself and also introducing them to whatever it is that you're giving away to them, right? It's a way for you to kind of introduce yourself. And what happens is when you introduce yourself, guys, when people start to kind of build a relationship with you and they see you, they start to build an opinion whether they want to do business with you. And by you introducing yourself, you're taking yourself out of just being this random freebie that they just found online, and they start seeing that you're a real person. Right? And what'll happen is because they start to build this relationship with you, the chances of them opening up your future emails, which we're going to talk about in a second, right, is way higher because they know who you are, they know who's emailing them, and so they're going to want to open up your emails, later on in this sequence. So that's why the bridge page, guys, is so important. So I'm going to share with you guys right now what a bridge page will kind of look like, so you can kind of see this all in action. All right, guys, so now I want to talk to you guys really quickly about the bridge page process, right? So we talked about how, you have your content, you'll have a link, a link in the description here of your content, and it'll send you to the opt-in page, right? So once somebody actually enters their email because they say, yes, I want my training, right, and they click on here, what's going to happen is they're going to be sent to a bridge page. Now, again, guys, the bridge page is basically to do exactly what it says, which is it's to bridge the gap between you know, where they are right now and where you're sending them, right? They want to basically get them to get to know you a little bit better, especially if, you know, maybe it's for a different type of program that they haven't heard about yet in terms of your content. They're just trying to find out a little bit more about you. And so here's an example of one of my bridge pages, right? So as you can see, it's a video of myself, right? I'm almost like waving at them saying, hey, hold on, you know, wait a second, I have something for you. And it says in big yellow letters, you know, private message from Aces, right? And it says, congrats, your training is on its way to your email, right? I'll never give the training away right away because people will start giving you, you know, junk emails, not the real emails, and that's not what you want, right? You want the real emails so that you can keep in touch with them, right? And then you give them a step 1. So, hey, watch this video to learn the next steps, where this is basically where I'm introducing myself and letting them know what to expect, you know, from the next few steps in the process, right, in terms of the training, right? And here basically step 2 says, hey, by the way, so that you can get the full benefit of this training, you should probably download this free trial of ClickFunnels that will basically help you to basically get the full experience out of the training that I'm about to send you, right? So that's basically all it is, right? In this case, in this funnel, it's a little bit longer and I've added some extra stuff to it at the bottom. But if you're just getting started, guys, keep it super, super simple. Literally just having like a quick little video, or at the very least a picture of yourself, and letting them know basically the next steps that they can expect, you know, coming up with whatever freebie you're giving them or whatever the case might be, is all you really need. All right, guys. So that's what a bridge page should look like. Okay, guys. So now that you've seen kind of what a bridge page looks like, now we can kind of get into, you know, the components of what happens after the bridge page. So at this point, you know, we basically have gotten, we have our traffic source, right? We've got people to basically go ahead and consume some of our content, and they decided they want to take us up, right, on our freebie or whatever it is that we were giving away, and they joined our email list, right? So once we have them up here on our email list, guys, the next step here is that we're going to get them into our autoresponder. Okay, so our autoresponder is basically just the program that we use to go ahead and actually email them on a regular basis. So what's going to happen is that your emails are basically stored in this autoresponder, and then what's going to happen is that your autoresponder will start sending them emails. Okay, we'll start sending them emails on a regular basis. And if you set up your funnel the way that I'm about to show you, right, what you'd want to do is you're going to have a sequence of maybe, you know, maybe like 4 emails, or I mean the number of emails that you want to send out to somebody. There's no like hard fast rule to it. It could be just a few emails. It could be like 2 emails. It could be 18 emails. It doesn't really matter. It just depends on how much you want to go and how in-depth you want to get in with them. Okay, for the most part, guys, what I will do is I'll kind of stick around between the 4 to 6 sort of frame, because I find that really works really well for me. And I'm going to actually break down for you guys what that kind of would look like in just a little bit. But that's kind of what I would do. And so what they get in these emails, guys, is they'll usually get a quick little blurb from me, or a little bit of a story of what they can kind of expect in, you know, in a training series, for example. And then what we'll do is we'll send them over now to like a lesson, right? Like a video lesson, and that's what this is, right? So video lesson 1, it could be video lesson 2, video lesson 3, video lesson 4, right? And so they're going to get an individual lesson every single day, right? For the next maybe 4 days. That's why I said times 4 here in this picture. Okay. So for the next 4 days, what will happen is they're going to get, you know, a video series that's going to teach them something, and I'm actually going to break down for you what that something is, right, as an example for you, so you know exactly how to kind of set this up. But the point is that for the next 4 days, they're actually going to get an email from you with a video lesson that they can go ahead and then enjoy, right, and hopefully learn some stuff from you and kind of go from there. Something that I want to talk to you guys about here that is something a little bit different than maybe what other marketers are doing, is my sales page. So when it comes to people actually coming from the bridge page, or coming from each one of these lessons, what I do is I always link them out to the product or service that I'm actually promoting right from the get-go. Okay, because depending on how people have jumped onto my email list or how they found me, chances are is that you know, I've over delivered on my value. So for example, if somebody found a video of mine on YouTube, okay, like over here, right, and they took the time to watch my videos, and my videos tend to be, you know, pretty thorough. I tend to put some really great value into my videos, kind of like this one, right? And people took the time to watch it, and they decided they wanted to opt into whatever freebie I was giving them, then chances are that they're already pretty warmed up to me. Maybe they already have decided that they want to work with me. They want to know what it is that I'm doing, and they want to follow suit. And if that's the case, guys, what I'll do is on the thank you page here, I'll actually have a button, which is what this little guy here is, right? To have them go ahead and check out what it is that I'm up to, right? Let them know, hey, this is what I'm up to. This is what I'm up. I think will really help you in doing so and so thing. If you think that this will be a good fit for you, why don't you go and check it out? So I'll give them a button basically to my sales page. All right, and I'll do the exact same thing after every lesson that I send them in my emails as well. Right, I'll teach them whatever topic or thing I'm actually going to teach them, and at the bottom of it, I'll actually add another button here, okay, and say, you know, come and check out my sales page or my product or service, right? And it's laid out in a very strategic way, which I'll lay out for you guys in just a little bit. But basically, that's the way that I want to do it, right? That's the way that I want to do it, because with every lesson that I'm going to teach them, hopefully they're going to get one step closer to wanting to then work with me. So then, guys, basically what I'm going to have is it's going to link them to the sales page where there'll be another like video of me either talking or the product that I'm actually talking. It could be the sales letter for the product I'm actually doing, and then it gives them the option to basically go ahead and then buy, right? You just click on that order button and they'll buy whatever product it is that I'm selling. So I'm going to share with you guys here exactly what this lesson section and what the sales page will actually look like right now in one side of one of my funnels, so you can get a better idea of how this kind of all flows together. All right, guys, so here really quickly, I want to just kind of take you through in terms of what you want to make sure your lesson pages kind of look like. I'm going to go through the actual structure of the lessons and what you want to kind of make sure you include in the lessons coming up. But right now, I just kind of want to give you a kind of a quick summary in terms of what the layout should kind of be. So after somebody's gone through the bridge page, which we're on right now, right, what they're going to do is they're going to hopefully go to their email and get the, get the links to the training that you promised them. So in that email, you don't have to, overthink it. It can be really simple. It can be like, hey, Ace is here. I know you're signed up for specific training. So here's the link to that training. Today's link training is all about XYZ topic, right? Here's why I think you should definitely watch it, because I'm going to teach you about this, this, and this. This is what you're going to learn. Here's the link again. Go ahead and watch it. Right? That's all you have to do. Really nice and simple. And then that email, when they click on that link, will send them to a page kind of like this. Okay? You want to keep it nice and simple. Have a nice, catchy headline here at the top, something like this guy, right? Where how average people are making $100 to $1,000 per day without any tech skills or ever needing to create a product. That's a big promise, right? That's a catchy headline. People are going to want to watch a video about that, right? So then you can go ahead and basically go ahead and just watch the video, and then you can leave a link here at the bottom, which will hopefully send them to either a sales page or an offer page or something that you want to want them to go to. And then that's it, guys. That's all you really need to do. You can keep it nice and simple. Here, you can also leave a couple of bullet notes if you wanted to, basically talking about how what they're going to learn in the video as well, or maybe some highlights so that people will be like, okay, cool, I want to actually learn about this, and then they'll want to obviously watch the video. Okay, guys, keep it nice and simple. That's all you really need to do, and that's what your lesson page should look like. All right, guys, so now you've kind of seen how this whole flow kind of goes, guys. There's only one last thing that I really want to share with you guys here in terms of the affiliate funnel, and it's the Q&A section. So after my people have received their few emails, their lessons, and everything else, right? What I've done is that I actually add a Q&A section to my emails. And the reason why I do this, guys, is because depending on what product or service I'm actually trying to sell, people are always going to have objections or have questions about what it is that I'm selling and whether it's a right fit for them, right? And people will often email me about these products. They'll ask me, well, what if I'm in this sort of situation? Or what if this happens to me? Or how is this product going to help me do this? And so what I will usually do is I'll actually take the time to write out some hypothetical questions before when I launch a funnel, right, with what I think people would have as objections. But as I roll out this funnel, guys, it's kind of a work in progress, right? Because people are going to continue to email me. There's probably some questions that I didn't think about, and when I get those questions, and if I think it's really good, and it's a question that I think a lot of people might be having, what I'll do is I will add them to a question and answer email. And so what I'll usually do is I'll have a page specially designed just for me to be able to answer these questions for people. So by the time that they they go through all these questions, hopefully they get all their worries and their concerns and their objections kind of answered for. And that's this page here, guys. This is the magic, okay? This Q&A page is really what allows you to almost automate these funnels where you're going to have to do a lot of less maintenance in the long run. I mean, though I know, guys, that you're seeing already that it's going to take a lot of work to get this all going from the beginning. However, in the long run, guys, having all these little steps kind of set up and having this question and answer page set up is going to save you so much time, because you won't have to answer all these questions over and over again from people, and they'll have a resource that you can continue to grow and fill out, and then it'll pretty much be working on almost autopilot by the time you get through the whole thing. All right, guys. So at this point, what I want to do is I want to kind of talk about something that is going to hugely impact your business and the number of conversions you're going to be able to get. And I want to leave this kind of for last, or one of the last things, because it's just so important, and I definitely want to leave the best for last. And so if you've been in the online community for a little bit, you've probably seen this in action. But if you haven't, right, guys, this is definitely a tool that you're going to want to utilize, because it's going to help you get way more conversions, get way more sales, way more effectively. Okay, and what I'm talking about here, guys, is utilizing bonuses to help motivate people to go ahead and buy your product. So the way that you want to think about this, guys, is where it's going to be located is it's going to be located kind of here, right on the sales page. Okay, it could be something that you talk about or mention inside of the video. Okay, you could mention inside of some of the emails that you may have been sending out as well prior to the lessons here, but more than likely it's going to be here on your sales page inside of your video, something you mentioned there, or it could be written out here on the sales page here at the bottom, where you mention, hey, if you buy this product today, I'm going to include for you a special bonus that includes thing 1, thing 2, and thing 3. Okay, and so what you want to make sure though, guys, is that when you're creating these bonuses, okay, when you create a bonus here, is that this bonus needs to make sense, okay? Because I've seen times where people, just throw random stuff as bonuses, thinking people are going to want it, but it has nothing to do with the product they're actually selling. So, for example, somebody's talking, maybe someone's trying to sell like a video course of how to, crush YouTube, how to, crush YouTube and grow your YouTube channel, and then they give somebody a free course on how to blog. Right? It's two completely different things. Unless you're teaching people, how to use video in a blog, then that would make more sense. But if you're just including a free blogging course when somebody buys a course on learning how to, utilize YouTube more effectively, it just doesn't quite, line up. And so you want to make sure that the bonuses that you're including is gonna, make sense. So just to give you guys some ideas of things that you can use for bonuses, there's you don't have to go get super crazy. It doesn't have to be a training course. It doesn't have to be something super crazy. When you're just getting started, guys, something simple will definitely do the trick. It could be a PDF, for example, like that includes like an action plan or some tips on how to make the process or how to use the product making it way easier or way faster for them to use it. Okay, that would definitely be something that could easily help close a deal. 2, something, it could be video training, right? So if you're comfortable being on video, and if you're watching this video and you're thinking about this funnel, hopefully you are comfortable, because video is going to be a big component of it, right? You can include some video training that basically teaches people how to do, how to use the product. If it's software, you can easily show some demos of the product or whatever the case may be, right? And basically include some video training to go along with that stuff. The third thing you can do is a coaching call. A coaching call is a great thing that I've used multiple times to help close people on a specific product or service, right? And so it could basically be like a strategy call, basically teaching people or helping them kind of get started with whatever product or service you're doing, right? So especially if it's like a business opportunity or something like that, then you're easily able to go ahead and answer questions live for people. And when you're just getting started, guys, you have the time to do this, and so it could be the deciding factor. People just wanted to talk to a real human and get some questions answered before they decide to jump on, and so boom, you be able to close the deal because you allowed yourself the availability to go ahead and talk to people in real time. Another thing could be doing the work for them. So if obviously the product that you're selling is something that's only making you maybe like $5 to $10 per sale, then you're probably not going to want to do the work for somebody for $5. But if it's something that maybe is a recurring sort of commission, right, that you're going to be making, then maybe it would make sense for you to maybe help them out, to either help them set up the work they want to do, or help them do some of the initial work for them or something like that. So an example could be, for example, somebody who is selling like hosting, right? So hosting, if you don't know, is basically is where websites are saved. And so if maybe you share with people, how to set up a simple blog template, right? Maybe you do that work for them. You help set up the blog template for them, which can take you maybe like an hour to do, but then you've basically made a commission for their hosting. And if that person is like me, who's had their blog and has had their website for years, and you're making continuous commission from them year after year after year, then it's well worth your time to maybe take that 1 hour, and now that person who signed me up for blogging, they've probably made thousands of dollars from me is because I've continued to, you know, buy hosting, and my website's not going anywhere, right? So they'll continue to make money from me in the future. So that sort of investment might make more sense. And the last thing you can do is things like downloadable templates. So downloadable templates is a great way to help people kind of kickstart their product or their service, help them get some clarity, helps them see examples of what something that works, you know, would look like. And so one of the things that I love about ClickFunnels is the fact that I can actually create, you know, simple funnels for people, and I can actually share it with them, right, as something that they can easily download pretty much right away, that it will basically allow them to pretty much plug and play and kind of just go from there. All right, guys, so this is some great ideas that you can go ahead and use to go ahead and create a bonus package to go ahead and get people to motivated, to go ahead and actually buy that product from you. All right, guys, so here what I want to do is, you know, before I let you go, is I really want to just go through one last step here, guys, in terms of, you know, the lesson section. So in case you're confused in terms of what I'm talking about, is obviously the section here, right, when we're talking about the lessons that you're going to be emailing out to people right here, right, what we want to do is I want to give you a quick little outline that you can go ahead and use to, you know, make an effective lesson section that will hopefully lead people to wanting to buy your product, okay? Because you want to be very strategic about this. This can't just be random lessons. You want to make sure that this is laid out in a way that people are actually going to want to buy your product at the end, right? And hopefully each one of these lessons is getting them one step closer to doing so. So lesson number one should really be the wow factor. So the wow factor basically means, guys, is where you're talking about the big promise. You're talking about the big thing that got the person to want to, you know, opt into your email list to begin with, right? The reason they basically opted in. So for example, if you were, you know, your big promise was like, you know, I'm gonna share with you, you know, how you can go ahead and double the results from your Facebook ads by using these 3 simple steps or something like that, right? That's the big promise. So you're gonna break that down and talk to them a little bit more about what that is, right? A great way by doing that is by teaching them or showing them what other people are doing or what people are doing wrong, and so that way they see what mistakes maybe they've been making and the right way that they should be doing things. Okay, this is really, really important, right? Because you're helping them, you're helping educate them, and at the same time you may be doing step number 3, which is killing some common myths that they might have about what they should be doing. So for example, you know, if we're talking about, again, like the Facebook ad idea, right, it could be something like, you know, video ads convert way better than image ads, right? That could be a myth that somebody has, yet image ads tend to convert or create more sales than just the conversions, right? And so, and I'm not, this isn't a hard, fast rule, guys. I'm not saying that this is the way it is. I'm just giving you some examples of how this can kind of break down. And so when you're helping people, you know, get clear on some of these misconceptions about whatever it is that you're teaching them, right, it helps create clarity, and it gets them to stop thinking about things in the wrong way. And because you're breaking down these beliefs from them, it allows you to then go ahead and teach them the way that you think things should be done. And you can show them, which will be in lesson number 2, examples of how things should be done the right way. And you can even show them some examples of results that you've gotten by doing things the way that you've done. Okay, and at the end of obviously the lesson, what you want to do is you want to make sure you leave a hook and let them know about what's coming tomorrow, right? You always want to give people a heads up of, or a sneak peek, right? Think of like, you know, at the end of any episode of your favorite show, often enough they'll give you, you know, a little bit of a hook, especially if it's like a drama or some sort of suspense show, right? At the end of it, they'll give you a sneak peek or tell you, next week, you know what, you make sure you tune in because this is what's going to happen. You're like, oh, I got to make sure I watch that next week, right? You want to do the same thing with people here in your lesson, right? You want to make sure you tell them, you know what, tomorrow, guys, we're going to be covering this, this, and this. And I'm going to show you like this really awesome thing. So make sure you open up my email tomorrow, essentially. Okay. So then when we move down, guys, now to step number 2, lesson number 2. Right? Lesson number 2 should be all about transformation, right? So in this case, what you want to do is you want to, you know, basically take them by the hand and tell them how you guys can work on this goal together, right? How you're going to be able to help them get to where they want to be, right? Tell them how it is that, you know, with your help, this person will be able to get the results that they're looking for. Right? You can also share with them proof of how this works, right? You can show them proof of how it's worked for other people. right? And then people are going to start to see how it's possible for them, right? You basically want them to see and begin to transform, right? Start to feel like this is real, right? This is something that's actually going to happen. This is something that's actually going to change their life in some sort of a way for the better, right? And then you teach them basically how you do it, right? You tell them, this is the way that I do it. This is the results that I've gotten from it, and so that way they're starting to see and get convinced of the idea that you're the right person to help them get the results that they want to. And then you lend, if you finish off the lesson by, again, providing that hook and letting them know, make sure you tune in tomorrow. And then when you get to lesson 3, right, guys, it's all about ownership. So here what you want to do is you want to start to future pace this person, meaning you want to show them where they can be. You want to show them the results they're going to get. By you guys starting today, or when you get started with XYZ today, you're going to be able to do this, this, and this is what's going to happen in your first 30 days, right? It could be even like a training program that you can talk to them about, right? You can even be hinting at some of your bonuses at this point, right? Where you're telling them, hey, when you get started, you're going to get this awesome bonus with they'll teach you how to do this, this, and this, which will make this process so much easier for you, right? So you're hinting at that offer, right? You're getting them already like warmed up and getting them excited about wanting to get started, right? And you can tell them, this is how you can basically do it, right? And you break it down for them, and then you again break down and leave the lesson with telling them, hey, make sure you tune in tomorrow, as I'm going to basically share one last thing with you. And this is where you basically talk about your offer. So on lesson number 4, it doesn't have to be lesson number 4. It could be whatever the final lesson you decided to be. It could be 15 lessons later. But like I told you guys, I usually stick to things around between 4 to 7 lessons. And so at this point, what you do is you basically go ahead and tell them your offer. You basically tell them, hey, you know what? We've been talking about this one thing for the last few days. Here's what I got. Here's what I actually want to talk to you about. Here's what I think you'll need it for. Why I think you should get it. Right? So here's what I got. Here's how it's going to help you. Right? So this is why you kind of want to get this thing. Here's what it'll actually do for you. So if you're talking about software or other things, you can even show like a demo, right, of how this process will actually even work for them, or what the product is actually going to do for them, right? And basically at the end, you basically just give them a call to action and tell them, hey, this is how you can get this right now, right? And you lead them to that sales button or to that sales page, and hopefully at that point they're going to go ahead and buy. All right. The only last thing that I didn't really talk about here, guys, and that I mentioned just before we started with the lessons outlines, is obviously that bonus offer, right? Is we can talk about that in the Q&A part, right? So another last email that I would maybe send out is that Q&A, and the Q&A one would follow all these lessons, right? Because at that point you're pretty much just giving questions, or you're answering questions they might have about the product, or any objections or worries they might have about that product that you've been mentioning to them for the last few days. And so hopefully at that point, between your bonus and you answering all those questions for them, they'll be ready to basically get started and signing up to your product. All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps things up. So hopefully you guys have learned a lot, and hopefully you've gotten a lot of value from this lesson. And if you did, you'll probably like some more of the content I'll be putting up here on my channel. So make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you guys know when I drop some future videos. And if you'd love to see this particular funnel in action with all the training that kind of goes along with you, teaching you exactly how this whole process works, I'm going to leave the link in the description for you. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, guys. I'll be answering them all for you, and I might even make a video just to answer your particular question. All right, so hopefully you guys got some value, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.